We'll be solving quadratic equations by factoring. We're going to be going through the note section in our project. First, we'll start with vocabulary. The vocab is what are quadratic equations, what is factoring, and what are variables. Make sure you write these down in your notes. So, quadratic equations are any equation having the form where x represents an unknown and a, b, and c represent known numbers. Factoring is a process in math used to simplify expressions and solve equations. Variables are a symbol for a number we don't know yet. These are the steps to solve an equation by factoring. Step 1, we're going to pretend that we're factoring x squared plus 2x minus 8 by putting it into double brackets. Solve x squared plus 2x minus 8 equals 0. X squared plus 2x minus 8 equals, in brackets, x plus 4, bracket, x minus 2 equals 0. Remember, the numbers inside the brackets have to add to make 2 and multiply to make negative 8. Step 2. Find which values of x make each bracket equal to 0. These are your solutions. X plus 4 and x minus 2 equals 0. If we were to do x equals negative 4, we'd have in brackets negative 4 plus 4 and negative 4 minus 2 equals 0. And x equals negative 4 must be done one solution. If we're done x equals 2, we'd have 2 plus 4, brackets, 2 minus 2 equals 0, 6 brackets 0 equals 0. So x equals 2 must be the other solution. Solutions, x equals negative 4 or 2. So here are some example problems. We have in brackets x plus 1 brackets x minus 3 equals 0. And basically we're going to be solving the next four. So try them and we'll go through them in the next step. So here are the answers. Basically, we're setting both to equal, and then we subtract each side. So in here, you see that we're subtracting 1 from both sides and adding 3 to both sides. And the solution is x equals negative 1 and 3. For number 2, you actually can't. This one doesn't factor since there are no factors of 1 and negative 4 that equal the negative 4. And it isn't formatted as squared part equals a number. So you can't use square rooting to solve. This leaves us with completing the square, which we don't want to do. We can use the formula x equals brackets negative 1 plus the square root of 17 divided by 2. And that would be our solution, which is here. For number 3, we're doing basically the same as number 1, and we're setting both to we're setting both x plus 1 and x minus 4 to equals 0, x plus 1 equals 0, or x minus 4 equals 0, x equals negative 1, or x equals 4. So the solution is x equals negative 4 or 1. And for number 4, we have this equation just has two terms, and nothing factors out of both, so it's a difference of squares. So you can factor, or it can be reformatted as squared part equals a number. So you can use the square root for both sides. In this case, we can factor. So we have x squared minus 4 equals 0, and then we're going to set both equal to 0. So we have x plus 2 equals 0, and x minus 2 equals 0. And once we've done that, we can find a solution, which is x is equal to positive and negative 2. So now we move on to word problems, which I know is not a ton of fun. Let me move um, over to the other. Yep, okay, so for this, I'm going to show you this, and then I'll show you the answers. So, we have a picture has a height that is 4/3 its width. It's supposed to be enlarged to have an area of 192 square inches. What will the dimensions of the what will be the dimensions of the enlargement? So we have the height, which is defined in terms of width. So I'll pick a variable for width and then create an expression for the height. Let W stand for the width of the picture. The height, h, is 4/3 the width. So h equals 4/3 times the width, or W. Then the area is A equals height times width, or HW, equals, in brackets, 4/3 times W equals 4/3 W squared equals 192. I need to solve this area equation for the value of the width, and then back solve to find the value of the height. So we go into 4/3 times W squared equals 192, and then we can multiply both sides, and we get the W squared equals 144, and then when you do the square root of both sides, we get W equals positive negative 12. Since I can't have a negative width, I can ignore the W equals negative 12 solution. Then the width must be 12, and the height is h equals 4/3 times 12, which equals to 16. So the enlargement would be 12 inches by 16 inches. We will move to the next one, and we have the product of two consecutive negative integers is 1,122. What are the numbers? Remember that consecutive integers are 1 unit apart, so my numbers are n and n plus 1. Multiplying to get this product, I get n times the parentheses n plus 1 parentheses equals 1,122. Then you have n squared plus n equals 1,122. We have n. You subtract 1, 2, 2, and subtract that from both sides, and you get n squared plus n minus 1,122 equals 0, and then we factor that, and we have n plus 34 times n minus 33 equals 0. The solutions are n equals negative 34 and n equals 33. I need a negative value, so I'll ignore the n equals 33 and take n equals negative 34. Then the other number is n plus 1 equals negative 34 plus 1, which equals negative 33. The two numbers are negative 33 and 34. We'll move on to the next question. For the last problem, it says a garden measuring 12 meters by 16 meters is to have a pedestrian pathway installed all around it, increasing the total area to 285 square meters. What will be the width of the pathway? So I'll show you the answer, and I will explain. So the first thing I need to do is to draw a picture. Since I don't know how wide the path will be, I'll label the width as x. Um, you can see the total width will be x plus 12 plus x equals 12 plus 2x, and the total length will be x plus 16 plus x equals 16 plus 2x. Then the new area is given by 12 plus 2x times 16 plus 2x equals 285, and then we go to 192 plus 56x plus 4x squared equals 285, and then we get 4x squared plus 56x minus 93 equals 0, and the width of the pathway will be, using the quadratic formula, will be 1.5 meters. I hope that all makes sense. That's the end of the notes. Make sure you copied all that stuff down. And as Mr. Maneri would say, I'll be walking around if you need help or have questions. Thanks.